poker.
We are back in Las Vegas at the World Poker Tour, brought to you by ClubWPT.com, where 4 players are going after close to 900,000.
And players from around the world do love coming to Bellagio. If you're a poker player, you got to love the action here.
To the table we go. Our chip leader from Germany, Moritz, quickly folds his hand. And now John Caradad.
I'm all in.
Looks at one jack and moves all in. Doesn't even look at the second card.
Uh-oh.
I call.
As Justin Smith has made the call with 2
I
queens.
saw one, it's a jack.
At least he'd like an overcard, a king or an ace.
Wow.
Doesn't get it. He's got a jack-6 offsuit. As you can see, Justin nearly a 90% favorite to win this pot.
Jack-6 one time.
And eliminate the Australian.
One time, Jack-6. Come on, people.
Optimistic anger coming out of John's mouth.
Well, he said, look, I just had ace-queen, lost to an ace-9. Maybe I can get lucky and outdraw somebody.
Oh. A rage of hope happening for John. Can he get lucky here? No.
Yeah, it's come 10-8-4.
I'll take a 5 or a 7. A 5 or a 7.
Yeah, a 9's not the best card.
Yeah, 9. Yeah, 9's not bad either.
Staying optimistic.
5, 7, or 9. Come on. Don't make me draw dead.
Now, he just wants to catch a card where he still have a sweat, but doesn't happen as the king comes off. Wow. 6 on the river. Well, that's going to do it for John Caradad.
Good luck, mate. Bad timing for me.
The 36-year-old out in 4th place.
Oh, yes, the property developer is going to take home a big number, close to 240,000. A lot of respect for this man. Had a few tough beats, but right now we are down to 3. Justin Smith now in 2nd chip position.
Current chip leader is Moritz Kranich from Germany. And as you said, Justin's moved into 2nd chip position. The great Phil Ivey in 3rd place right now.
Well, look at this. Moritz on this hand with Big Slick has raised to 440,000. Ivey out. But Justin in the big blind with just a king-6 of hearts is going to call.
Well, there's 800,000 out there. Cost him 240 to call, so he's getting over 3-to-1 odds on his money. Taking a chance here. But that flop, no help to him as it comes ace-9-3.
But it's good for the German. Justin has checked, and Moritz with the continuation bet sticks 525,000 out there. I'll tell you something. It's always nice to do the continuation bet and actually catch the top pair, too.
Look at this, Vince. Justin has made this call. This is what we call a float bet in poker. You're making a call with no hand and no draw in an effort to steal the pot from your opponent later on. Now, Justin's going to check here. And as if opponent checks, Justin's definitely going to try to win this pot on the river. But as you can see, Moritz has no intentions of checking here.
He's got a great hand, and he's not going to play it slow, it looks like. Getting chips out. Maybe drop them in.
Yeah, he's going to put them out there. Make no mistake about it. Looks like over 800,000.
And Justin, 22 years old, and a lot of imagination. But this time it could be backfiring.
Well, he's drawing completely dead here. Any moves he makes at this pot, he's just going to be donating the chips over to the German, I can tell you, because he's not going anywhere. And Justin does give it up after thinking about making a move at this pot. Wisely surrendered.
What pressure was seen by the German. Taking it to the American, Justin Smith. Justin disgusted after that. Creativity's one thing. Taking big pots is another.
I'm sitting here with Rick Solomon. I'm not quite sure what he does, but I do know that he's a poker player you don't want to mess with. Who are we rooting for right now?
I'm rooting for Justin Smith. We made a deal that whoever one of us wins, we're gonna have a party.
Are we all invited?
Everybody can come.
And the Royal Flush Girls?
They can come for sure.
Well, we'll see if Justin can win. We'll see you guys in a little bit.
I don't think I have a real chance in short-handed against Phil Ivey, Justin Smith. I will try to be aggressive then and maybe win a coin flip. But if we really play short-handed for a long time, I think I'm not the best.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour, brought to you by ClubWPT.com. The humble chip leader saying, I can't play with these guys, please help me. But, you know, he's not doing too bad. He's got 7.6 million in chips.
Well, Vance, what he's doing is getting himself an honest evaluation of his best chances to win this tournament. Anytime you're playing heads up or short-handed against guys that you feel are better players than you, your mission should be to shorten the match make it as quick as possible. Try to play big pots. Try to get in a race situation. If, on the other hand, you think you're the best player, your mission should be to stretch out the match and make it last as long as possible. I admire the guy for recognizing his best chance might be to play big pots early.
Phil Ivey with Jack-9 has called. Justin Smith is folded, and Moritz is content to see a flop with a Queen-Jack. Here's the flop.
Both players have flopped second pair.
Moritz has a better kicker. He has jacks for the queen. And Moritz is checked.
Well, Phil Ivey is going to bet the jacks as anybody would after a guy didn't raise before the flop and then checked on the flop.
Moritz is going to call. It's a $200,000 bet. There is an ace out there. Here goes 4th Street.
Well, because neither player raised before the flop. You're just not going to put your opponent on an ace, especially when another ace comes off. So again, Moritz checks. And again, Ivey is reaching for chips. Maybe he thinks his opponent's got a straight draw or a flush draw here, or just 2 4s. He's going to bet the jacks.
Yeah, $500,000. And Moritz with a pretty quick call.
Well, that should turn the light on for Phil Ivey that the guy's got something.
Ivey in a lot of trouble right now. Going to the river.
Well, the 3 of diamonds comes off. Moritz again checks the aces and jacks. Well, that's in my mind, this is just an easy check.
Wow.
But Phil Ivey is betting $700,000 here.
He can only get called if he's beat.
Well, unless you think your opponent's going to pay you off for the 4 in this spot, where you're just on a stone bluff or a king high.
I call.
Wow.
He's been called, and Ivey is not going to like it. He turns up the jacks with a 9 kicker, but it's not going to beat the jacks with the queen kicker. So the German is going to take this pot down, and you can see the anguished look on Phil Ivey's face. Yeah, Ivey may be the greatest player on earth, but I didn't like his river bet there for 3 reasons. 1, if he's got the best hand, chances are he's not going to get paid off, so he gains nothing by betting. 2, if he gets check raised, he's toast. And 3, it's risk versus reward. If he wins the pot, he'll have multi-millions anyway, but if he loses it, going from 1.7 million down to 1 million is huge with the blinds and antes as high as they are now. Now, Tony Dunst has been following all the action. I'd like to hear what he's got to say.
Hi, I'm Tony Dunst, Bond 18 Online, and I do have a lot to say about that hand, Mike, and I must admit I see it rather differently. I think it's too easy to be an armchair quarterback and say that Phil made a mistake. It's also easy to not agree with his river bet for the reasons that Mike Sexton gave, but I think his analysis is results-oriented. What happens all the times when Phil bets the river and Moritz folds a worse pair or a missed draw? What about the times Moritz decides to hero call with a 4 or makes a sensible call with a worse jack and Ivey ends up looking like a genius for getting 3 streets of value on a weak holding? It's a mistake to believe the end result of a hand dictates what is good play from bad play. Let's break it down. Ivey limps the button holding Jack-9 and 13 big blinds, which is strange as most players would play this hand and this stack is a push or fold decision pre-flop. Ivey is likely assuming that Moritz will move in with many of his strongest holdings pre-flop, such as any ace, all pairs, king-queen, king-jack, even queen-jack, in order to avoid an awkward, out-of-position spot against Ivey post-flop. On the flop and turn, it seems to me that both players make the standard decision. I really like Ivey's river bet though, because the majority of the time he has the best hand against Moritz's range. Let me repeat that. The majority of the time he will have the best hand against Moritz's range, and he can potentially get thin value plus prevent Moritz from gaining information in the event he elects to fold. When Ivey turns over his hand, the look on his face tells me that he believes he has the best hand. I think the craziest thing about this hand is not how it played out, but that Phil Ivey actually had a reaction after it. Typically, Phil's the kind of guy who remains seated during a game-winning buzzer beater. I thought he was a robot. But that big reaction proves that he is human. What it doesn't prove is that he made a mistake.
I'll tell you, you could boil a cup of coffee on Phil's head right now. He is hurting.
Well, Vince, in my mind, he turned the burners on himself, though.
Action is on Phil. Moritz is folded.
Long way.
And Phil is going all in with just a queen 4.
Good call.
And a quick call by Justin Smith here. Knows Ivey might be steaming the way he played that last pot, so quickly calls him with king high.
Excellent call, and look at that look. Mama Ivey in complete pain there.
Right now, Justin Smith a little over a 60% favorite to win this pot and eliminate Phil Ivey from this tournament. And the flop comes 8-5-5. Justin has 2 pairs. Ivey is up against it now. He's got to catch a queen to take the lead or 2 runners to make a straight or 4s full. Well, an ace comes on the turn, so we are down to the river, and if Phil Ivey doesn't catch a queen, the king of poker will be gone in third place.
His chances of becoming a two-time WPT winner on the line. He's a long shot right now. Can he get lucky?
Well, it's a 10.
He does not.
So just like that, the great Phil Ivey out in third place.
And there's Phil's mom, shattered by this third place loss, but he will take home $363,000 to put into his piggy bank. Phil Ivey out here tonight.
The last hand was questionable. I had 1.1 million. I just took a shot to win the blinds.
Well, we're all pretty impressed. It's your 9th WPT final table.
Yeah, well, it's nice to be here again. You know, hopefully, we'll make a number 10 real soon.
Well, it goes to show you he is human, a great, great player. 9 times at the WPT final table, but he's out right now, and we are down to 2 players. Heads up action, brought to you by ClubWPT.com.
As is the custom on the World Poker Tour, when we get down to heads up play, it's time for our money presentation. So show us the money!
And out come the beautiful Royal Flush Girls, brought to you by prestigious models, bringing in the cold hard cash. Who wouldn't want to draw to that hand? Millions on the table right now.
Now out comes the customized watch, bracelet, and trophy that our champion is going to get tonight. Now tell the truth, Benny. What's prettier, the Royal Flush Girls or all the cash?
They can both get you into a lot of trouble. Now we have a great German player up against one of the best from the U.S., 22-year-old Justin Smith.
During the break, I spoke to Justin and Moritz. Here's what they had to say.
I've been wanting to win ever since I broke on in the live scene about 1.5 years ago. I'm finally happy that I'm that close. This is definitely the closest I've been so far. So hopefully I can pull it down.
You and your buddies come to Vegas on a poker trip. I'd say this is a pretty darn good finale.
We will celebrate together. If I get second or first, will be a big party tonight.
Heads up action is about to start. Let's get down to Mike and Vince.
Thanks, Kimberly. Well, as we start heads up play, Moritz Kranich, the chip leader by about a 2-to-1 margin. He's got nearly 9.4 million in chips. Justin Smith with about 4.8 million.
All right, action on the German, Moritz Kranich. First time playing a WPT event. He's got the button and he's just going to call. Round to Justin, who is a queen 8 offsuit.
Justin happy to see a flop, so here we go. Oh, nice flop for Justin. He's got 2 queens. Moritz, however, has an open-ended straight draw.
And they both check right there. Going to the turn.
And 4 clubs comes off. Justin's plan was probably to check raise the flop. That didn't happen. His opponent checked the open-end straight draw. Most people would have bet that, but not Moritz.
Well, Justin now bets 320,000, and Moritz, he's getting chips out.
Yeah, he's going to gamble here and make this call. And I always say it's a gamble when there's 2 of a flush on the board, because if one of your straight card comes up that suit, you're still a little nervous.
Well, he's gambling because he has a lot of chips as well.
Yeah.
Can he get lucky here?
Gonna have to catch a 5 or a 10 to win this pot, and he does advance as a 10 comes off.
Amazing.
He has made a straight.
Oh, don't do it to yourself, Justin. Slow down, Boosted J.
Yeah, he thinks his 2 queens are good, so he's going to bet 730,000. I don't know that he needed to bet that much to find out what's going to happen to him right now, because, as we know, he's going to get raised. Because Moritz hit lightning on the river to make this straight. Well, that's 2 million right there so far, and he's reaching for more.
Oh, man, he is sticking out a re-raise of 2,225,000.
Well, let's see if Justin can get away from this hand. There's Mike Manisow's buddy, but he's got the concerned look on his face, as he should have.
2,225,000, right?
Well, this would short stack Justin in a big way if he should make this call. Kind of tough to get away from it.
Guy didn't raise on the flop, didn't raise before the flop, didn't bet on the flop, called on the turn.
I love that fold. Look at that, beautiful fold. And the German extends his chip lead Like gambling, hitting on the river.
It was one of those times where I'm